With or without a mustache, Rob Fowler continues to be a standout in Charleston with his community and charity involvement. You can watch Rob's forecast every evening on News 2, Channel 3.
With an arsonist still at large, authorities are warning residents to keep a close watch on their neighborhoods.
This past September, former SGA President Ross Kressel caused quite a stir here at College of Charleston when discriminatory tweets were posted under his Twitter handle, CFC Politico. I sat down with Public Relations Chairperson Erica Arbetter to find out what's happened since College of Charleston made international headlines. Recently, there's been a discussion whether doctors should prescribe medication for grief, something everyone will experience in their lifetime. I took to College of Charleston campus to see if we should medicate grief. Like many College of Charleston students, I have two homes, Charleston and my childhood home in West Virginia. I'll take you over 560 feet higher and 50 degrees cooler to my hometown in Huntington, West Virginia. Let's go. I'm Gwyneth LoCascio for CFC Scene. Things heated up in Charleston over the summer after an arsonist re-emerged. Arsonist has been at large for over a decade and his identity is still unknown. Now, another community, Huntington, West Virginia, is dealing with its own string of arsons. Since January, between 70 and 80 structural fires have been set. That's 50% of the 5-year average. I sat down with the police chief and fire chief of Huntington, West Virginia to find out what the city is doing under fire. Vacant homes are caught in the crosshairs.
We knew we had a problem since somewhere around November.
And one person isn't to blame.
We believe there's 2 or more people setting fires on top of the ones that we have already identified. The only thing of concern is that, again, these houses are constructed so close to each other. Is a fire jumping from an abandoned structure to an occupied structure.
With an arsonist still at large, authorities are warning residents to keep a close watch on their neighborhoods.
Fire departments are also doing their part to quickly extinguish flames and ensure there are no casualties.
So they're really more familiarizing themselves with their district and trying to, find out where all the vacant houses are and get familiar with them, which is going to help in their response time. It's going to help in the effort of mitigating the incident and putting the fire out faster.
Being familiar with the area is crucial, especially when the fires are so unpredictable.
It's not just one area of the city where it's happening. It's the whole city's covered with it. So,
for the most part, the motives and identities of the arsonists remain a mystery.
We're kind of looking at a whole broad spectrum of possible motives.
The goal now for authorities is putting an end to these intentionally set fires.
It's a main priority right at the moment.
So many unsolved house fires, many residents are left wondering, could my home be next? For CFC Scene, I'm Gwyneth LoCascio. For CFC Scene, I'm Gwyneth LoCascio. He's the recipient of the highest award given to a South Carolina citizen, and there's a band named after his facial hair. Rob Fowler has been serving the Low Country for over 25 years as Storm Team 2's chief meteorologist at NBC affiliate WCBD. But he's so much more than just your friendly neighborhood weatherman.
He's always there when you need him. And I sound like a promo, I sound like a commercial, but if there's ever bad weather, I don't care if it's a thunderstorm up to a hurricane, he's going to be in there and he's going to be interested in making sure people are safe. And that's the biggest thing, and that's what impresses me so much. He has an honest interest and concern and passion about helping people in this community when it comes to weather and keeping them safe, that he's always here and you can always rely on him. And that's a pretty neat thing.
So what made Rob Fowler step outside the Weather Center and get involved in the community?
Well, when I came here 25 years ago, and I kind of thought this was going to be home for a while, and so instead of just kind of doing my contract and moving on, I just felt like I wanted to put down some roots. And then we had Hugo in '89, which was 2 years after I got here, and then I really felt involved in the community. And 3 years turned into 5 years, 5 years turned out to 10, and 10 turned into 20, and now I'm sitting on 25, and this is home now. And so while I'm here, and I hope for the rest of my life, I'm going to be a part of this community. And we're lucky, we're in a position where we can help out, and people do listen to what we have to say, and when we put a stamp of approval on something, hopefully it touches them, and they'll go and do something about it.
Charities Fowler is most notably involved with are the American Cancer Society and Toys for Tots.
As a cancer survivor myself, the American Cancer Society is tops on my list. I lost my dad to cancer many years ago, so cancer's been a big part of my family. Toys for Tots, I love kids. I love to see kids smile on Christmas morning, as it should be. And over the last 25 years, we've collected and distributed about 1 million toys in this area.
When asked if the famous stash would ever make a comeback, Fowler had this to say.
You know, if someone said, hey, will you grow it back to raise money, I would certainly consider it if they would let me.
With or without a mustache, Rob Fowler continues to be a standout in Charleston with his community and charity involvement. You can watch Rob's forecast every evening on News 2, Channel 3. For CFC Scene, I'm Gwyneth LoCascio. Thank you for joining me for this week's Campus Conversation. I'm Gwyneth LoCascio. This past September, former SGA President Ross Cressell caused quite a stir here at College of Charleston when discriminatory tweets were posted under his Twitter handle, CFC Politico. I sat down with Public Relations Chairperson Erica Arbetter to find out what's happened since College of Charleston made international headlines. I'm here today with Public Relations Chairperson Erica Arbetter. Thank you so much for joining me here today, Erica.
Thank you so much for having me.
This past September, we had the whole Ross Cressell scandal where he tweeted under CFC Politico. As someone who's familiar with social networking, what was your reaction to that whole debacle?
Well, I wasn't happy. I can tell you that. It doesn't look good, obviously, that our leader doesn't think highly of his executive council. But really, it's a lot of listening to what your mom always told you, you know, don't do anything you wouldn't want on the front page of the newspaper with your name on it. And obviously, because Ross didn't put his name on it, he wouldn't want it on the front page of the newspaper.
Have any new regulations been enacted after this whole CFC Politico scandal?
Yes. Well, every single student that is sworn into office takes an oath. And that oath says that we will always represent and perform our duties to the best of our ability. And a lot of people don't think about that in terms of their social media online presence. And we set a lot of really strict guidelines that really at the same time of the whole impeachment proceedings to just really hammer in the fact that everything we do is, you know, we are a fishbowl. And as student leaders that were elected and have the power to make these decisions and sway, you know, votes, we need to be professional.
In retrospect, would you have done anything differently, or do you wish another member had done something differently?
Differently, I would say preemptive. I wish that I hadn't sat there and seen what news organizations and, you know, national newspapers were saying about us and then responding. I wish that I had said, hey, this is going on. It's about to, you know, be kind of a big deal. This is what we think about it. This is our stance on it, instead of speculation. There was a lot of speculation in that, and if I could do something differently, it would be, you know, attacking that speculation before.
Do you think most SGA members are satisfied with Elliot Wright being the new president?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I know I am. I know everybody on executive board is. He is so wonderful. He really has a great vision for SGA moving forward, and a lot of people have really gotten behind him on it.
Thank you again, Erica, for talking with me today. Reporting from SGA offices in the Stern Center, I'm Gwyneth LoCascio.